Sean Combs or P. Diddy or Puff Daddy or Puff Adder or whatever the fuck his next name change was. This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. And welcome to the 191st edition of Louis Black's Rantcast, entitled The Emmys. Yes, I went out there this year for the first time in forever. 20 years, probably minimally, I guess. It's tough to say. It's been quite a while, and it's anybody's guess when I was last there. I hadn't been back. I just due to touring, the success that the Daily Show kind of gave to me, and a number of other folks along the way, created a monster of touring, and so it was tough to get back to them. And also, you go to them, and there just comes a point where this is too much, and I'd gone away long enough from it to forget that. And I really wanted to get out there to spend time with the folks I work with on the Daily Show. It's a great group. All the ones who are hosting now are terrific. I've been lucky, and I said this there to anybody who would listen, to be able to work with the people that I've been able to work with there. And I really, all throughout the years, the talent is extraordinary. And this group, I've not been able to get the time with them because I show up, I have a week here, and then boom, I'm not back for 6 more weeks, and there's another kind of somebody else is hosting, and I just wanted the ability to be out there with everybody, and it was. I'm kind of glad that I did, because it was great to be with them, and it was also good as a reminder of just how psychotic, nuts, fun, insane, crazed, beyond comprehension. What are we doing here? Some people are dressed in dresses. You're going, this is, or in suits. You go, what are we wearing? Why are we doing this? What is this all about? And it was, but it's in the end, it's as I said to my friend Kathleen, it's fun and horrible, much like Los Angeles. It's fun and horrible simultaneously. But it was, and also there were a lot of other people I just wanted to see that I'd not seen in years, and folks that I, as a fan, I was lucky enough to run into Liza Colon-Zayas. She's on The Bear, and we used to work together at the 52nd Street Project, and I used to get to see her there a lot. And it was great to see her in The Bear, and really great to see her in the episode that she did this year, the one that she won the Emmy for comedy, which is just strange, and we'll talk about that in a second. Directed by Ayo Edebiri, and she was someone who I'd met before due to Inside Out 2, and I think that Ayo did a brilliant job of directing it, and I got to talk to her and tell her what. She overwhelms me. She's just an extraordinary talent, I believe. And her direction of this was incredible. And Liza's work was stunning. And the story it told was important, and especially in the midst of what we've been living through. The idea of someone, just watch it, okay? Just watch it. It really told the story of how difficult it is when someone wants a job and can't find a job, and is and just lost a job, and she was really quite something. The writing is something. So that alone was worth the whole trip, and spending time with the Daily Show gang. Oh boy, what am I, 9? Was also really worth it, and being able to, gawk. And who's that? Wow, that, and wow, look at them. And I kind of was. You get kind of overwhelmed by the whole thing, and it's weird because it they take pictures of me and stuff. I think thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of photos are taken at these events, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of interviews. I mean, it is packed with an extraordinary amount of very talented people and some people who really need psychological care. And I, it was really, it was. I'm really glad I went, and I think that may be it for me. I think that's unless there's some other reason to go back. I was thrilled that we won. I think it was deserved. I think there's nothing like it. I think that the writers of it deserve certainly a great deal of credit for what goes on. I don't think they get it. It was I hadn't seen John in forever, so that was nice, and I forgot to thank him for the very kind words that he had to say about Kurt Vonnegut and his work and its effect on him. But I will, and or maybe someone who's listening will pass it along to him. But I really, it was nice to be able to. You work with folks, and some of you probably are experiencing this now, since you're a lot of it is remote. That you don't get to spend the time getting to know them, and it was really a pleasure to be able to get more of an understanding of the folks that sit behind that desk. And someday I better be sitting behind that desk, or I'm going to be pissed. But until then, I'll be running around like an idiot but I'm going to be, actually, by the time you see this, you'll have seen me on The Daily Show, hopefully. And you'll have gone, wow, he did all that. I'll tell you this, the 10 hours, I've never done that. It was 10 hours on the plane, 10 hours at the event. And I'm still jet lagged, which is why this may be a very, very short intro, because I've got to get ready to leave again, and shows to do, and I'm still recovering, and I'm still recovering from the in my aha. It's that delight of a fall cold as the seasons turn slightly, and also because I wanted to get this out before the weekend, because it's tough to do it while I'm on the road, and then I'm going to be after we finish on the road, after what has been a run of a lot of work that's been I've been doing. It'll be fun to take 4 or 5 days off to get my golf game in shape for the little bit of the retirement that I will, the part when I said, why am I retiring? To have fun. And even though golf hates me, I've gotten just enough better at it that I believe that I believe it's enjoyable, and that it's going to stick with me this time. So I'm sure this fascinates you. It fascinates me. And the Goodbye Yeller Brick Road final tour is rolling along into the fall. That's right. Here we come. This week, Where Friday, the Hampton Beach Casino. Please join me. There's some great seats left. It's a great venue if you've never been there. And then on to Boston, to the Wilbur Theater on Saturday and Sunday there. That's the 27th at Hampton Beach, the 28th and 29th at the Wilbur. I'll be coming to Louisville. I'm going to be going to Skokie. I'm coming to Madison. I'm going to Milwaukee. And we're going to be as many places as we can be up until March. Keep an eye out on the lewisblack.com website. And if you want the best seats, once again, I'm going to just tell you, easiest way to do it. Join the Lewis Black Fuck You fan club, all right? Because this will ensure, and I mean it, that you get in the first 5 and sometimes the first 10 rows, but mostly it's the best seats in the house. And it's the best way to beat Ticketmaster. And you deal with a human being, and that's all I got to say. See you there. As regards to the Emmys, I mean, the idea that The Bear is a comedy is insane. Okay, and they've got to just figure that out. But that's Hollywood at its best, trying to figure out how to make sure that certain shows get their proper due. Just fucking don't even fuck with. Just say here, here, here. You deserve it. You deserve it. The Bear deserved it, and so did some other things. And some of the really fine comic performances were overlooked, and some and really in many ways, some of the people as I did voted for actors in The Bear because it was just somebody's got to say this was terrific performances, and it was, and it was really it's a show that really it's a knockout. And if you not watched it, I'd say watch it. It's well worth your time, and worth it for a number of actors, including Io and Liza. And we move on now to what has really been the not much of a week, really, because I escaped even being on the lack of oxygen on a plane between that and some movies I've watched, and which I'm not going to talk about. Okay, I'm not even going to give them time, and then between all of that, I was able to escape whatever neurosis was out there in terms of us trying to pick new leadership. And meanwhile, I left, and it looked like they were going to be able to actually, keep the government open. Now they're talking about a government shutdown. And even Mitch McConnell, who I never agreed with, finally came out of a coma to really say, "Hey, this is the only reason, this will help the Democrats," as opposed to you don't do this ever. Okay, somebody there has to stand up in Congress and say we cannot be the ones who decide whether the government stays open or not. The government stays open. Okay, that's it. You get to decide the budget. The money went out. All right. You've got bills. Bills need to be paid. You fucking idiots. I've said this too many times. It's really simple. When you spend the money and you owe people money, you pay them the money. That is what you do as a fucking adult. Get a grip. Okay. We're not going to pay because we need to. No. All right. It's our money. It's not your money. Okay. We elected you to make the decisions and then to pay for those decisions. You don't play with it, all right? And then it's like they're out there in the mountains around fucking California, putting out fires that are raging, and the shit's hitting the fan with the hurricane in the tropical storms that have hit. And destroyed part of a beach in North Carolina, and you kind of go, and the people who, especially the fire guys, they need to be paid. They need to be paid. All right, you don't cut off it's their livelihood, and then the idiots in Congress still get paid. What planet is this? All right, I'll tell you this: Los Angeles, I'm telling you, is not another country, it's another planet, but that's for another discussion. Wow. It is unbelievable. And one thing I forgot is that there was, and I don't know if you can catch a view of it. If you look up Giant Emmy, you go to this thing afterwards called the Governor's Ball, and they have this giant rotating Emmy. I must be 100 feet high, 150 feet high, and it's turning around. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm going, wow, it's like the golden calf. I felt like I was looking at the golden calf. I really wanted one of those, wanted it bad. And I'm staring at this thing, and I'm thinking, Lewis, at the age of, in his 20s, early 30s, even up to 40, would have looked at this thing and gone, "What the fuck is the matter with us?" But when they're going to honor you with this thing, you go, "Well, okay, maybe not so bad." I mean, I used to react to kind of what I thought was kind of a show of glitz. I just always kind of thought, excuse me, it was unnecessary. I would walk into some major agent's office before I had an agent even was interviewing. There's a playwright and I walked into one office. Audrey Wood was the name of a great, a great playwriting agent. I think was Tennessee Williams' agent, and she had come to see something of mine. And I was going to go talk to her, and I walked in, and the stuff on the walls was worth more money than I could imagine. And I literally walked up to the woman at the desk and said, "Well, what is this about?" And she said, "What?" And I said, "Well, this stuff, what is all this about?" She looked at me like I was out of my mind. And I went, she just said, "Have a seat, sir." And I did. And that somehow that guy was standing there in part as I stood there staring. That guy was also staring over my shoulder, whispering in my ear, "You're an asshole. You've become the asshole." So, but it was really like, whew, it was decorated to the tits, um, and not to say that. And when I say tits in a loving way, I'm talking about my own, which are decorated to the tits, and they're still and then you come back and they're fucking around in Springfield, aren't they? They're fucking around in Springfield still. They're still going after them, still going after the folks, the Haitians who came into the country. Okay, the folks from Haiti, the immigrants, and that they're eating this and doing that, and they're eating all the pet. I mean, and JD Vance is doubling down on this. I mean, what is the matter? What is the matter with us? Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we do this to the people who have struggled, and especially them? I mean, those folks have been through enough, more than enough, way too much, over and over and over again. And they finally get a break and get to, of all places, Springfield, Ohio, and that's the break. And they are basically dealt with in this fashion that they are savages. I mean, stop it. Okay, all they want is a life like the rest of us want. All they want in the end is what we have, which is the right to say, "Boy, this was a shitty day," and that's it. The freedom to say that, and the freedom to get a Taco Bell breakfast, whatever it is that makes folks happy. Okay, get out of their face, Mr. Vance. Get out of their face. It turns out that when he was early on, he yelled and screamed about the fact that people were treating, especially the Republicans, really were kind of racist in terms of their immigrant policy, but not anymore. He's backed them up and he's doubling down with them. And way to go, JD. Way to kind of see the light. Right? It makes me dizzy. It really does. And to give you a sense of just how insane it is, and then we can go on to this. So I'm looking through, flipping through the phone as I'm sitting yesterday in the car with a friend of mine, and I go, "God, I can't believe this." And it was from it was about Georgia, and it said that the bill had been passed there in Georgia that would provide a legal basis for authorities to outlaw pride events and public displays of the LGBT rainbow flag and to impose censorship of films and books. And I went, oh my God, boy, how could they do this before the election in Georgia? And I'm looking and I'm sitting there and I'm reading leaders of the governing Georgia Dream Party say it is needed to safeguard traditional moral standards in Georgia. And I'm like, oh my, how's that possible? How did I miss the Georgia Dream Party? Republicans and Democrats and the Georgia Dream. And it took me at least 5 to 10 minutes to realize, because I was just so stunned by it. I'm talking to my friend about this, going, we have completely lost our grip. And I finally realized, no, this is Georgia the country. Because the European Union condemns this as over the top. It's disgusting. You shouldn't be doing this. As somebody said, this law is the most terrible thing to happen to the LGBT community in Georgia. It's the director of the campaign group, which is Tbilisi Pride, which also restates an existing ban on same-sex marriage and bans gender reassignment surgery, would likely force her organization to close its doors. I mean, the LGBT rights are, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I was hoping but that I thought it was Georgia, the state. That's where we're at. I thought it was the state of Georgia, and it wouldn't have shocked me. It didn't. I was stunned, but thank God it was not that it's good that it was the country of Georgia either, but at least it was the country of Georgia. But it wouldn't, I was not surprised that this was going on, that this would happen in Georgia, the state. I mean, so much shit is going on that I just went, wow. Take a deep breath, Louis. Take a deep breath. But it's good to be home and away from, Planet Hollywood, and it was nice to get away from this madness. And now I'm back in it, and we'll be rolling your way soon, one way or the other. I'll leave you with this. I'm hoping that my bit of a description of what the Emmys is like gave you a glimpse behind the curtain. Partly it's just the jet lag. I think has taken away my ability to form adjectives and adverbs, and really, hopefully, I was able to properly describe the event to give you a sense of it. Taylor Swift, I realized today, when I read that, she came out for Kamala Harris, and that upset Donald Trump. She has 280 million followers. That's almost the population of the United States. It's impressive. I mean, I'm like, that's just stunning. That is really unbelievable. And in the Venezuelan strongman, Nicolas Maduro, keen to distract Venezuelans from his rigging of the July elections, which everyone says he did. From the rigging of July elections, ongoing crackdowns, and the nation's economic collapse, declared that Christmas will start October 1st this year in peace, joy, and security. Way to go, Maduro. Way to make Christmas happen faster. Boy, oh boy, I'm sure that many of the folks running stores in the United States, our Targets, our Walmarts, our Amazons, all of it, they must just be going, why didn't we think of that? I realize the most insane story of the week. I didn't even touch on. And partly because it was so mind-boggling. I think it was the most insane story of the week, and it wasn't. Didn't have to do with anything political. It was sexual. It was Sean Combs or P Diddy or Puff Daddy or Puff Adder or whatever the fuck his next name change was. He is basically charged with crimes against humanity. I mean, I've never. I mean, look what he was doing. I'm listening the other morning, and literally my brain is going, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, we all have our sexual fantasies, but this is you don't you kind of go, okay, I'm going to put that in a storage room somewhere. He brought all of it out on a level that I never fucking imagined or that anybody would need to get off, and my brain couldn't deal with it. I mean, it literally was. This is sexual insanity. All right. I've never heard the word sexual racketeering. There was sexual kidnapping. There was all sorts. I mean, it's an extraordinary. This is all right. Just simply this. Okay. If you have a difficulty understanding why we have to tax the wealthy, this is the prime example. I mean, you say, well, they should be able to buy all the houses they want and everything and all the land, and they should be able to get all their money to be able to kind of pay. What this is when you have too much money, when you can basically live out a fantasy that is criminal and get away from it for 16 years. Now they won't let him out on bail. But I can't even imagine how deep the shit is that they won't let him. They're not letting him out. I mean, twice he's appealed for bail, and they think he's a flight risk. God knows what else they think he is. So now he's in apparently in a cell in Brooklyn. Oh, how the mighty! I mean, I'll read just a bit of this, and then we're going to wrap up. And I thought, in case you missed it, I mean, it is. This is the respite we get. The respite we get is this, which was just, I'm kind of going, it's already too much what we go through on a daily basis. Just the commercials alone on television for drugs, we don't even know what they are, but that's another story. I'm sorry about that. A grand jury indicted rapper and music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, whatever the fuck that is, and sex trafficking. We know what that is, according to a federal document unsealed Tuesday. The charge, 16 years of allegations and decades of rumors that Combs used his power to physically and sexually abuse women on a level that is staggering. The indictment accuses Combs, here we go, of using his lifestyle, media, and music company. He's got a lifestyle company. What the fuck is a lifestyle company? You want to live like me? I have more money, obviously, than God, and I'm going to have a lifestyle. I'm going to show you how to live a lifestyle. Are you shitting? Who can afford it? To help orchestrate these companies, he used them to help orchestrate a widespread criminal enterprise. Participants in these criminal activities included Combs' security, personal assistants, and staff, according to the indictment. These associates helped Combs abuse, threaten, and coerce women and others to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct, the court filing alleges. The crimes Combs and his associates are accused of committing and covering up include sex trafficking, narcotics distribution, arson, along with everything else, and kidnapping. Many of these alleged crimes took place at illegal sex parties that Combs referred to as freak-offs. During these parties, Combs allegedly threw objects at the victims and dragged them by the hair. And that's nothing comparatively to his associates. Allegedly booked hotel suites, recruited male sex workers, distributed narcotics, including cocaine, methamphetamine, and oxycodone, to coerce partygoers into sex. His staff allegedly monitored and arranged travel for victims and scheduled the delivery of IV fluids to help victims recover from the intensive drug use and physical exertion on his orders. He's a staff. He ordered them to do this. These parties were also taped, and Combs used the footage to pressure his victims to stay silent. And it goes on. I can't. That's enough. You don't need that. What else do you need? Huh? You're right. You need a distraction from the madness. There's more madness. Huh? Really, literally. Unbelievable. How do you get away with that for more than a week? You think, I don't know. Nobody speaks up. Nobody goes, hey, you're hiring sex workers. Then you're just getting women and bringing them in for for his pleasure. It's the Caligula. It's like he's Caligula. You know, I'm the emperor, and bring them in, and for my entertainment, I shall watch. What? And that got him off. My brain is waffled, baffled, broken, busted. I listened to it the other day. I just could share a portion of it with you now, and we just got to get a grip. 16 years he's pulling this off. Nobody noticed. Nobody said, hey, gee, but if he didn't say to anybody, you want to come see this week? I mean, and they had guns in the room to make sure that they kept performing. I didn't even get to that. And that's enough of that. All right? Too much money. It's called too much money. All right? A demented mind with too much money. Wow. I am appalled. In conclusion, one would think that after 16 years, okay, that during that time, P. Diddy, Puff Adder would, at some point, as he looked around and thought, wow, it takes this many people gathered together, working in consort in order for me to get a boner. And if that didn't strike him, just the amount of money he was spending at some point during the 16 years, he might look at the bill and go, man, that's an expensive boner. Woo, that's too much. Okay. That at some point you think that might cross his mind, and that he might say to himself, gee, maybe I need professional help. So that's what I got. I'd like to give you more. I'd like to be, I hope it was life-changing. And if you watch the Emmys, I hope you enjoyed them. Jeff Stilson, my opening act, did the writing for a lot of the hosts, and I think did a really wonderful job. It was great to see the Eugene Levy, who I truly admire, and Daniel, his son, working together on stage, and that was a lot of fun. There were some truly great moments there. I mean, some of it's great, some of it is just appalling, and some of it is what it is, Hollywood. And I hope you all have a very, very good week as we march toward the winter. I hope your fantasy teams are doing well. I have one that's 0-2. I blew it. I left 50 points on the bench for those of you who, I mean, just stupid. I won't even tell you. Just stupid. I made some choices that were a mistake. Otherwise, it'd be 1-1. And it crushed my opponent, crushed them. I'm 1-1 in my other league. The one I'm with Kathleen. I'm playing her this week. It's going to be rough. At least, by the time we finish, if I even remember who won or lost, I'll let you know. And then, and that's what I got here. That's what I got for you. I really appreciate you spending time with me. I can't tell you. I appreciate everyone writing in their rants, and continue to do so. Okay? Whatever it is that's pissing you off, I don't care. It doesn't have to be earth-shaking. It can be something that happened when you crossed the street, or you got on the phone, or you ate something, whatever. Share it with us. America's waiting to hear from you, and so am I. It's a privilege and a pleasure to spend time with you, and I mean that. Take care of each other. Here's a bit of the problem that Garret Cheney has when when people are expressing themselves, speaking. Did you ever listen to someone speaking and in every other sentence they said, you know, quit it. It's fucking irritating and embarrassing. From sports heroes to politicos, this vocal static is something most people don't even know they're using in their speech. My 95-year-old mother pointed this verbal poison out to me. Now I'm unable to not hear this. I view this as the cholesterol of speech. Ums and ers are high in the ranking also. Here's my thought since I planted this linguistic bomb in your head. Let's have fun. Just like playing Hi Bob, a drinking game you played while watching the old Bob Newhart show. Get some really cheap beer, find a politician speaking on the news. The best effect is obtained with local politics, and especially sports. And drink every time they utter the words, or Happy days are here again. You're fucked up before you can say Lester Holt. A public service announcement from Garret Cheney, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank you for sharing, Garret, and enjoy the game. I never did it when Bob Newhart was on. I never actually got enough chance to watch him. I was trying to scrape money together as a bartender, I believe, at the time. Okay, thanks. A rant from Roxanne Boal. Hello, Lewis. Thank you for providing a platform to spew our frustrations. In these days of computers that run faster than a speeding bullet, AI, telephones that can access anything, anywhere, you'd think these major corporations that are trusted with your personal information would also be tasked with communicating a data breach faster than grease lightning. But no. I received a letter recently from some corporation that I never heard of, indicating that they are responsible for housing my personal information used for medical billing. They'd been hacked and millions of individuals' information was compromised. Now, I'm not the most tech-savvy idiot on the planet, but when the data breach happened in February, and you admit to getting it under control in March, why are you fucknuts feeling you need to wait until August to inform the victims? I'm sure that whatever bastard hacked these idiots has had the opportunity to use the info billions of times in the last 6 months. Then try to get into the 3 credit bureaus to put a freeze on your credit. 2 were not actually too bad, only taking a day and a half. But the third, not mentioning any names, Equifax, is totally impossible to reach. Thanks a bunch. We need to have a law passed on a federal level that makes it mandatory for these corporations to send out a notification immediately. The notification should be in standard language saying something simple like, we've been fucked and now we are passing along the STD to you. Standard language would help to avoid the 6 months of haggling by lawyers and corporate managerial staff over the notification language that is most probably the reason they can't get the notice out faster. Just get the sucker in the mail so I can once again ward off all the ID theft bullshit that is sure to come my way. Thanks for listening, Lewis. Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you. Important to point out, I just heard this thing that same thing, I can't remember what it was, the National Data Institute, who even knew it fucking existed, and that somehow they had my information. Bullshit. Well said, Roxanne. Well said. Donna S. needed to get this off her chest, and I'm glad she did. There's a trend that's going to make my head explode. I click on a website to read an article or get more information. I'm not more than a sentence and a half in when 2 things happen. First, would you like to subscribe to our newsletter? It's the bestest newsletter ever. Let us send it to you, supposedly weekly, but we'll creep that frequency right up until your inbox is inundated with meaningless crap. Click subscribe. Click subscribe now! And have you considered contributing through our Patreon or paying for the secret squirrel access to the paid articles. For fuck's sake, I haven't even read enough of your site to know that you're not a babbling moron, a crazed conspiracy theorist, some jackass trying to sell snake oil, or possibly all three. Let me read the damned article. The second is opening a new app. And again, without even doing anything, being asked to provide a 5-star review. 5 stars for the fact that the product opened. Woo! Fucking who? It opened. It opened. Or even having the app try to upsell you. Oh, I'm looking at you, AV Works. The product hadn't even finished downloading when the offers started flying for multiple add-ons. And won't you pretty please with fucking sugar on top give us a 5-star review? Crazy thought. Maybe I'll see if the damn thing even works before I add expensive options or write a review saying your product cured all my ills and could bring the world together in peace and harmony. Yes, I got the reduced rate under a special trial. Also, yes, I have set a reminder to start looking for a replacement 2 weeks before they would charge me full price for renewal. Why? Because they pissed me the fuck off with their rate me 5 stars and buy more. I gave them a 1-star review for the creepy tactics. Perhaps they should consider another approach. Thanks for letting me vent, Lou. Off to try to read something offline. If you hear the rumblings from an exploding head, you'll know who it was. It was you, Donna S. It was you. And thank you. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.